Here, we got a lyrical analysis for you. This is just a video that Julian sent me. I think is one of his new songs that he hasn't released yet. Anyways, we'll just listen to it. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go listen to it again later on.
All the time, good times and bad times. The tears fell on your bedtime. The pills, they were your mad time. You thinking me just like I think of you. In your bed sometime, when we stayed up to the dawn of night. On FaceTime, you thinking me just like I think of you. All the time, yeah, we used to talk all the time, but we can never make it right. No, not again. Can't even be friends. Can't make amends. Your memories spawn again. Spawn again. But the summer's so cold. You better watch your heart before it gets stole. I run this trash, you wear that shit. And dog.
Alright, so we'll get into it here. All the times, the good times and bad times, the tears fell on your bed times, the pills, they were your med times. My takeaway from this is he's singing about one of his past relationships. Didn't end well. And maybe this is a girl that he dated for a while, they broke up, they got back together, and then they broke up again. It was worse the second time. But I'll get into that. So all the times, the good times and bad times, every relationship you will ever have in your entire life, whether it's romantic, sexual, platonic, just a friendship, a situationship, family relationship, sibling relationship. Like, you will have good times and bad times. And then the next part, the tears fell on your bed times. It's talking about, like, he was there for this girl, and she was, like, at her worst, just crying in her room. And then, like, it could also be a double entendre with that line of your bedtime. Like, the tears fell on your bedtimes. So, like, the bedtime could also be referring to, like, an actual bedtime. Because, like, when you're younger, you actually have a bedtime. So it's like, being young and in love or whatnot. The pills, they were your med times. So, like, taking pills at a certain time, because, like, some medications, you have to take it at a certain time and whatnot. It could also be, like, this girl was, like, a drug to him. Or he was, like, a drug to this girl. Because when they were with each other, they got a feeling of euphoria or whatnot. So then, do you think of me just like I think of you in your bed sometimes? There's many ways you could interpret this. Like, you could interpret it as, like, do you think of me this, like, when you're laying awake in bed at night, do you think of me just like how I think of you when I'm laying awake in bed at night? It could be, like, do you think of, like, me being in bed with you just like I think of you being in bed with me? when we stayed up till the dawn of night on FaceTime. So, yeah, that I don't really get. Like, we're talking about staying up, what, like, the dawn of night just doesn't really make sense. Because, like, the dawn of night. Dawn is when night ends. So, like, how does that make sense, though? Like, I guess you could have changed it. You could have changed the dawn of night to like the morning light. So the I could have been. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull up the original. So it could have instead been when we stayed up till the morning light on FaceTime. And staying up until like staying up really late at night on FaceTime, staying up until like very early in the morning, like being on FaceTime with someone. You do that shit when you're in love. So, let's see. Do you think of me just like I think of you all the time? Again, going back to this. You know, do you think of me all the time in the same way that I think of you all the time? Yeah, we used to talk all the time. So it's like saying, "Oh yeah, we, we never talk anymore. We used to talk all the time, and now we just don't." Been in that situation. I am in that situation now, but that's beside the point. But we could never make it right. So yeah, for like I said earlier, they tried before, and it didn't work. They could never make it right. And then no, not again. So they were in a relationship. They tried, like, they tried being in a relationship. They broke up. They were able to make it right and get back together. And then something happened, and it got way worse. They couldn't get back together after that. So just the next line, can't even be friends. It means that like whatever happened was so bad that they can't even go back to being friends after it. Can't make amends. So it could be him saying like I can't make amends. So like it's Julian saying that like he screwed up bad enough to where he can't fix what he did wrong. No matter how hard he tries. Your memory's fallen again. Fallen again. So it could possibly be him saying that like he's not in love with her, it's just he's in love with like the memory of the way like the way she was when she was with him. He's not falling in love with her, he's falling in love with who she was before. He's in love with who she was before, and he wants to be with that person and not with her, like who she is now. But the summer's so cold. Newsflash, bitch, we live in Michigan. It's like 80-some degrees outside. With 90% humidity. It is not cold. There's also just really bad thunderstorms last night in my area. Like I literally woke up at like 8 in the morning because there was thunder like literally right outside of my house. Like it sounded like a fucking explosion. Like a literal fucking cannon going off in my ear. Or like the military, like the army just fucking dropped a bomb on us or some shit. Anyways, we'll move on to the next line. You better watch your heart before it gets stole. That's just good advice. Yeah, watch your heart because there will be people out there that will, like, you gotta watch out for people stealing your heart and whatnot. Yeah, you gotta be careful about people stealing your heart because if you let them steal it, you can't trust them with it because they can and they will break it. Around this trashy world that you end up. Yeah, the world's full of trashy people. Yeah, you don't. It's just not a good thing. You don't want to be in that position. Like, basically, don't do anything that Julian would do in that situation. Yeah, anyways, that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, comment, like, subscribe if you're new or if you haven't done so yet. Till next time, I'm Reading Gaming. Stay frosty.